Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Cross Circle, the official podcast for PlayStation Source. My name is Christian Buckley. I'm your moderator, as always. Welcome to episode 9. As always, I'm joined by Mr. Kevin Diaz.
Chia! What's going on? What's happening?
Pretty good. Late night episode.
Love it.
Just like last week. Late night for me.
I think yesterday. Well, yeah, over here it's still 7 o'clock, so it's somewhat. Well, it's almost 8 o'clock my time right now, so a little bit late, but it's all good. But you've been playing some games this week, dog.
Yeah.
You got 3 plats in 3 days? What is this?
Speaking of late nights, yeah, I was.
Jeez.
So what day is today? I'm all messed up this week. So, anyways, a few days ago, 3 days ago, Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday night.
Sunday night, yeah.
I stayed up until about 3 a.m. finishing God of War or not finishing God of War because I did finish God of War a few days before that, but I got the platinum. I got the platinum.
Congratulations.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but the last optional boss fight for that side quest, if you know what I'm talking about.
Not the side quest.
Well, you know there's 9 bosses.
Those things. Okay, yes, yeah.
That
we
last
one. Oh, now you figured out who that is? I'm not going to... Yeah,
I think we're thinking about 2 different things. But
wait. No, I think we're okay on the 9...
the 9 things that relate to...
start with a V?
Yes.
Yeah, those.
Yeah, so
the
last one took me like 2-ish, a little over 2 hours to finish.
Gotcha, but do you know what I'm referring to of the last one? Who that is? In the story?
I know who the one who was in charge of that whole thing. Yes, I understand that.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That's what I was referring to. Okay.
Yeah, so play God of War, you'll understand it.
Shout out to God of War. Shout out. I'm so pestering Barlock to send me an early copy of that book, man. I want the novelization right now.
Damn, that's gonna be a cool one.
I'm pestering him on Twitter. I'll try to get it to you guys. Try to get it. But what was your other platinums?
So the night after, or day after, I should say, early in the morning, I was doing some paperwork for the channel, and I was like, I'll get back to Telltale's Batman, because I loved the first season. It was one of my game of the years that year. I absolutely adored it. I'm a huge Batman fan.
The Enemy Within, right?
Yes, Enemy Within is season 2. So
okay, gotcha, okay.
I had it downloaded still on my PS4 since I bought the season pass before it came out. Mm-hmm. So all I played was episode 1. Really dug it. Just school got in the way. So I booted it up just to be playing that during the day while I was working on just work. And it was like, oh, sorry, you have to download episode 2. So I was like, okay, well, I'll queue episodes 2, 3, 4, and 5 to download, and I'll put Uncharted 3 back in, because, again, last year, I was working on Uncharted 3 before my whole PS4 fiasco happened that I've mentioned on the podcast before. But I went back to that, and I ended up playing the entire remainder of Uncharted 3 that day. Got the platinum that night.
You're a madman, dude. You're a madman. You're crazy.
When it comes to the Uncharted games, I'm like platinum god with those. I'm not sleep until I finish.
Don't get me wrong. I love Uncharted. Actually, side note, today I was working on some school stuff as well, and I had the PSX panel with the Uncharted 10th anniversary. That whole panel. Yeah, I had to run the background. It was good. That was a good panel.
Yeah, it was.
Good panel. I watched the short film as well with Nathan Fillion. That actually convinced me. I watched it again. I watched it when it first came out. I just watched it again today. Which infamously convinced me that Uncharted could actually probably work in the movie. So,
yeah, man, it's just Indiana Jones modern. It's cool. It'll work.
Yeah.
So yeah, I platinumed Uncharted 3. I don't know what it was going on, but I was playing it on the Nathan Drake collection, and I was getting some, bugs.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if it was just my PS4, chugging or something, but yeah, there were a few instances where, specifically on the convoy mission, you know, when you're on the horseback going after Sully.
Yes.
In the
After
background,
that one, like really that really dope dude that was side like saved you, whatever.
Yeah.
Somebody.
In the background, when we were going through one of the canyons and we could overlook the entire desert, there was just some guy in the position of sitting on a horse, really far on the other side of the screen, like in the sky, just moving.
Huh.
Like he was just like he was just static, not moving himself, but like his entire body was just moving through the sky.
I've actually never. I mean, not that I've like looked into like bugs on the Nathan Drake collection, but I never heard that happening. Huh.
Yeah, it surprised me.
Maybe because I mean that wouldn't even be because like I thought you were gonna say like you're having issues with like frame rate, whatever.
Oh no.
So then I was gonna say, oh well, like maybe that's like your base PS4, you know, maybe. But no, like that's not even like a PS4 skew issue. That's just
that's just some issue with it, but.
Interesting.
So that was fun. Took a while. I forget which mission it was. Oh, one of the missions with like one of the brutes took me a while in that too.
Yeah.
But day after that,
trash developers make broken games. You know what I'm saying?
Don't say that. We need to be in the good graces. So then, day after that is the easiest platinum. That was Batman: The Enemy Within. Finished that up. Again, really enjoyed it. I don't know if it's better than season 1, but it's just as satisfying to see that story unfold.
Gotcha.
I'm, like I said, big Batman fan, and I don't think people take enough risks telling Batman stories, and Telltale has taken every risk they can take, and it's paid off so far incredibly well.
Right.
So,
are you seeing the because I know like a lot of people complain about Telltale games. I haven't played one in like a long time, honestly. Where you know, just their game engine is just lackluster, really buggy. Is that still prevalent in these Batman episodes, I'm assuming? Or
you know, I've never really had. I've played 2 seasons of The Walking Dead. I played The Wolf Among Us. I played Batman season 1 and season 2 now.
Wolf Among Us is great.
Yeah, and then Borderlands across different versions, PS3, PS4, same games, all the ones that are out. And I really only ran into a handful of issues with any of the Telltale games from my experience.
Gotcha.
The most noticeable one was last year or 2 years ago actually now, when I played through Batman Season 1. There was some guy whose character model didn't load in a prison fight, and he just had eyeballs. But like that was funny, you know, and it wasn't like game breaking. But that was the biggest issue that stands out in my head of all the Telltale games. And season 2 ran very okay for me. It did not have any issues.
Huh. Well, that's good. That's
like
good.
there were the like slight pauses when loading new environments, but that's about it. And that's even not a big issue for me. But
I haven't played a Telltale game in a while.
You, sir, have finished your quests post Last of Us. Ratchet and Clank.
I did. It was great. Now, I think I said it here how like, you know, for me, Ratchet and Clank was very much kind of like an exhale, and you know, in comparison to the very grittiness and very tense Last of Us, right? As more of just like, yo, let's play, you know, just Ratchet and Clank. Let's just chill out. Very nice, fun gameplay mechanics, you know, easy, lighthearted game, whatever. That was not the case with the last 2 boss battles I had, man. I'll tell you. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But those 2 last boss battles were a very steep incline. Very, very steep. I was like, wow, this is actually like very tough. But, you know, that one I was stuck on for a little bit, but I got through it. It was all good. Some frustration here and there, but
I watched your the video you posted today, and I thought you made a good point there about how it's such an easy ride, that game. Like there are challenges, and it's nothing too complex that you can't get over without like a try or two.
Exactly.
But the spike at the end isn't even that big of a spike, but like because you're so used to the challenge. It just feels way different, and I thought you made a good point there. But did you play the original Ratchet and Clank?
Like I remember vaguely about them back in the day. I was big on Jack and Daxter. That was my main like.
Okay, but you
Jack
never
and
finished
Daxter,
the first one, right?
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember playing it. I remember beating it. So
yeah,
I'm gonna say like I loosely played it.
See, the original version of the game. Dear Lord, that is a boss fight.
Really? That one's like
I remember
really tough?
I kept dying so much that I like had to just go back and go for the Rhino just to stand a chance.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah, but overall, great game. Recommend it. Just expect that last two boss battles to like really, give it to you. Because seriously, and like again, I think I said it in that video as well. Make sure to go check out that video. It's kind of like it's not really a review of the game because obviously the game's like 2 years old, but it's kind of just like a hey, let's look back on it. Let's like because I just got up to it. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
it was new to me. I just wanted to kind of just throw out my opinions on it. But in that, oh my god, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Right, no, okay. So like I think you just said too, where if the whole game was as difficult as the last two boss battles were, the last two boss battles probably wouldn't even be that bad to me.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just that the whole 90% of the game was like pretty much a breeze. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty easy, honestly. Then just having that spike at the end was just kind of like, huh. But, didn't ruin it for me. That was a great game overall.
So
Good
question.
Stuff. What's up?
Do the crazy, awesome, very cool, intricately designed gadgets get you excited for the Spider-Man gadgets we're going to be getting?
They do. And what also gets me excited about, all of that with the gadgets and everything, was also like the way that, obviously different wombat human, but the way that you could kind of jump and still move and still take out enemies, I think that's very much goes hand in hand with Spider-Man's level of combat. And he's probably going to be doing things, obviously, because he's very acrobatic. And we see it in the trailer as well, and some gameplay segments with Spider-Man 2. Not Spider-Man 2, but Spider-Man 2 Spider-Man as well. So definitely, that was probably the main grab of like being like, okay, they know how to allow you to still move very fluidly while also being efficient in taking out enemies.
Yeah.
So
Ratchet's very satisfying with all that.
Yeah, very. Oh my gosh, very satisfying.
But speaking of satisfying, there's one more game we got to talk about before we get to the main chunk of the show that both of us have been working on by the good graces of. Do you have the Twitter?
Motion Twin. Let me double check.
Okay. Well, we both got codes for Dead Cells, which is in the news lately.
Yes.
Saying it
can't confirm
lately.
I can't confirm.
Yes.
Lightly in the news, just a little bit.
But no bad reason on its own because the game is very fun to play.
I'm enjoying it a lot, and I think you are as well. We talked a little about it, and neither of us are really that deep into it, so we're not gonna, stand on here and talk like we're hours in.
Right.
I'd say I'm maybe like hour 20, hour and a half in. Still kind of getting my bearings in the game, still kind of understanding the objective overall, right? And I think you are as well in the same point.
Yeah, I'm like half an hour, 45 minutes. I did one sit down. I did a few runs, died a couple times, but
right.
Very satisfying to play. I think that is what's going to keep me interested when I'm able to get back to it.
It is. Yeah, it is very fun. It has its hooks in me in the same way of like how satisfying it was with Celeste earlier this year. Obviously, I've talked about Celeste in this cast. I love Celeste, obviously. And it's like similar art style as well. That same kind of bit format and everything. It's still stylized in that way. Soundtrack is great. Overall liking it too. So definitely gonna spend more hours in it. We haven't decided which one of us is reviewing it. But I think we can both confirm that
more content is coming from Dead Cells on the channel. So look forward to that.
Be no plagiarism in that review.
Oh no,
we can.
No,
we definitely can confirm that.
All right. So getting to the main topic of the week. As we've been doing the past few weeks on Cross Circle, we're going to be covering games for the fall. We're doing a bit of a fall preview. If you want to see the games we've done so far, go on the channel. Obviously, you're already here. Look through the past few weeks of the show. So far, we've done.
Think of a playlist. Pretty sure we.
I will make one after we record this.
Beautiful playlist.
We have enough episodes of the show now for me to warrant making a playlist.
We do. It is, guys. Next week, double digits. It's hype.
It's exciting, yeah. So we started Spider-Man. We did right after that. We covered 3 games. Actually, we did Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Spyro Reignited, and Life is Strange 2. After that, went into Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That was last week's episode. And this week we are getting to what I would call the midpoint of the fall release schedule.
Yep.
This is the
shooter section, if you will.
Yes, but on its own. So both these games come out in October. We're going to be talking about Battlefield 5 and Call of Duty, obviously. But my God, October is stacked.
October is packed, dude. It seems like it's like the 1 year that COD decides to release in October. I feel like everyone else just released in October. It feels like October this year is like the new November. It's so weird. Like, November's like pretty empty, you know. November, it's not empty, obviously, but there's some games, but it's not as packed as it usually is.
Yeah. So
it's weird.
I'm not going to run through the entire list, but off the top of my head, I know we have in October got Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Super Mario Party, Mega Man 11, Red Dead Redemption 2, Call of Duty, Black Ops, The World Ends With You on the Switch, which is a meaty game in its own right. There's a lot there. There's a lot I'm forgetting, but October's stacked.
And there's a lot of games.
Yeah,
buy, man. There's a lot, dude.
Because of that, now we want to talk about the shooters, because I feel like this year more than ever, for me at least, both these shooters are landing under a more critical eye.
Right.
And I think a lot of that has to do, we're going to talk about this more after the main details of the games. I think a lot of it has to do with the way like online multiplayer with your friends is now, and the way it is now is because of Fortnite.
Yeah, I think with especially these 2 big shooters, I think this is definitely like the start of seeing the effect Fortnite has had on a multiplayer standpoint,
absolutely,
industry-wide. You know, I feel like this is definitely like everyone's response to how are we going to compete or keep up or be somewhat relevant with the behemoth that is Fortnite. But
right, because they are 2 very similar audiences that overlap. You know, like if you talk to people that you normally have played COD with in the past, odds are they're playing Fortnite right now. And Fortnite, for as great and as good of a quality experience and package that is, not a AAA game.
Nope.
At least I wouldn't qualify it as a AAA game. Yeah. Epic is a huge studio, so don't get me wrong there.
Yeah.
But
there's a I think there's just
there is a level, you know, like this is a Call of Duty, the year in year out best seller. Battlefield 5 has its own huge fan base in its own right, so let's talk about Battlefield 5 first.
Let's do it.
So Battlefield 5, I love starting out with this. This is my favorite way to start out with one of these games. So Battlefield 5 comes out October 19th for everybody, but you get it 3 days early if you buy the deluxe edition.
Shout out to these trash deluxe. I hate this so much, man.
I hate it so
much. They're Mike, like
it's worse for COD. Let's talk about the Battlefield one for a second.
What's the other game that's dropped?
Assassin's Creed last week we talked about.
It is Odyssey. It is
a couple days early if you buy the gold edition or higher.
When did this start?
I have no idea. The thing is, I remember, I forget what sports title started. I feel like it was a sports
game, right? Was it like a 2K game?
It was, I feel like, I don't know. I think it was either Madden or FIFA.
Something like that, yeah. One of these sports games. You know what? I hate sports. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't hate sports games. I'm just not into them. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't like this trend at all. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's like...
It's weird. It's just weird.
It's weird. I agree. Because, like, our sides of things, I've gotten games early before, and that's always an exciting feeling. So I guess if you... This is the corporate apologist, like, side of the argument. This isn't how I think about this.
Right.
Technically, if somebody wanted to give them more money, they could get that feeling of being an exclusive, I get this early thing, but God, they should not do this.
But then, like, also, which I don't think we've even talked about at all, like, how is this going to affect, like, the embargo, for example, and, like, review copies, for example?
So,
like, is the embargo going to lift on the day that people can potentially get it 3 days early off the pre-order? Is that when reviews are going up?
The case with AAA games, especially in the fall, embargo seems to be like a week or so beforehand. So
Fair point.
Yeah,
that's fair point. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's not like they released day one. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think with Battlefield though, and to the same extent, COD you don't get early for getting a bulkier version, but with Battlefield, it's really weird splintering your player base like that, especially for an online game.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, and like, who's gonna want to play online against, you know, people that got it early? Because, like, most likely you're pretty hardcore about Battlefield if you want to get it, you know, 3 days early.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have like gold guns, everything.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like a sweat fest in the first 3 days that you're in there.
Yeah, it's an interesting. It seems just like an awful idea either way, like single player or multiplayer. Because single player, if you get it early, people can just go everywhere and spoil everything. And multiplayer, you just give a huge advantage. Because like 3 days for a brand new shooter is a big advantage.
Dude, you can do a lot in 3 days, man. You've got 3 plats in 3 days. Like, people can do a lot of things in 3 days with gaming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
3 days you can do a lot in 3 days.
Yeah, you know, because you get like map memorization down early. You get
exactly. You get map routes ready to go. You get
used to your
which guns are trash, which are good.
Yeah,
exactly, dude. Like, if you gave me COD, like, you know what? If you gave me COD a day early,
you'd already have an advantage.
I have. Oh my god, dude! Like, now from everyone that's like already like played the beta for Black Ops 4, obviously we didn't have the full game, like not all the maps, but those niche spots where like we had the maps that were on the beta, like we know what's going down.
Yeah,
you know
what I'm saying? If you're listening right now and you don't believe that you can actually get an advantage, this is an extended version of this advantage, obviously, but think about how great it is if you buy a shooter launch day and then on Christmas you log on and you can just like mow down people because they're all brand new at the game.
Heck yeah, those Christmas noobs. It's dope.
Yeah, like it's an advantage. You do get an advantage from having it early. Obviously,
100%.
It's a difference of 3 days and like a couple months, but I still don't like this at all.
Yeah, I don't like this trend. I hope it doesn't pick up that off. Like, I feel like it's because I mean, right now it's only been 2 games as far as we're aware of. As far as at least I'm aware of.
I don't have like a document pulled up right now with more examples. Yeah, I'm sure there have been, but.
Yeah, I mean, like, in the future, like, I hope, you know, this is kind of just a weird thing that's happening right now, and that probably won't have any footing in the future. But
yeah, I mean, companies are always trying to figure something out like this. Like, remember we used to have the online passes?
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, those died off quick.
I forgot about those.
Uncharted 3 had one. I remember specifically.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Wow, those really sucked. Yeah.
Moving on to Battlefield 5, though, we do have a couple more things to touch on before we move to COD. Even though, like I said, bare bones info right now for these. The campaign, first of all, campaign is present in Battlefield 5.
Shout out to Game 7 campaigns. Shout out.
So, I have not played a Battlefield game that I have enjoyed since Bad Company 2.
I feel you. I liked Battlefield 3. Battlefield 3 was cool, in my opinion.
Have you played any since then?
Any of the full Battlefield. Okay, if we're counting...
Like 4 Hardline.
What was that one by Visceral? Hardline, does that count?
I would count it.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Different dev, but, you know, Battlefield series. Hardline was cool. You know, but I guess like but I feel like I spent a lot more time in Battlefield 3 than Hardline, so I'm gonna say Battlefield 3 was like my actual last go at a Battlefield. You know, because with me, you know, with every Battlefield, like they look really cool in the trailers, aside from this one, really. But you know, they look really cool, they look promising, whatever. So in the past, I would always get it, and then you know, play through like half the campaign and like just bored of it. And then a multiplayer was somewhat cool, but then like I would just get a Battlefield, play it for like a week or two, and then just never touch it again.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, at this point I'm just like, okay, maybe I just don't like Battlefield. Like maybe it's just not my taste.
I think
so. Yeah, that's how my Battlefield history has gone.
Yeah, so I played a little bit of Battlefield 3. I also played a little bit of Battlefield 4, and I messed around with 1 at a buddy's house. But yeah, they are very, very similar in the way they play. Like, yeah, I feel like ever since Battlefield 3, they haven't evolved that much.
Yeah, and like honestly, to be fair, the same can be said about Call of Duty. Like,
if
you pick up every COD game above from COD 4, and if you play at least one of them, you can play them all. You know what I'm saying? Right. They're not really all like differing, very, like they're not completely different from game to game, right? So the same can be said, say for COD 2, just to be fair. I'm not saying that every Battlefield game's the same. Yeah.
As opposed to COD, I feel like Battlefield has lots of good moments, and it's more fun to play with your friends. Because my experience with Bad Company 2, that was one of my favorite multiplayer games I played on PS3.
Right. I never played Bad Company 2, unfortunately.
Yeah, so Bad Company 2 is great. Outside of having a really good campaign, the maps, very big, very huge, but something that I feel like was lost moving forward with Battlefield was like an excitement that Call of Duty doesn't really have, because this is just moving back to like middle school Christian playing Bad Company 2 on my PS3. So I haven't played in a very long time, but it was just always very exciting when you saw someone, like, especially if you were sniping, because you could just huddle into a spot, you could go all Predator, like really hunt down your targets, and seeing someone added to that tension of the match outside of the objectives. Whereas COD, it's very twitchy, like, person shoot, dead. Person shoot, dead. Yeah. Like, Yeah. So there is a difference there that I appreciate with Battlefield, but I feel like they haven't gotten it back. But I was talking to one of my friends the other day. He's also a big fan of Bad Company 2. He was in the PC alpha for Battlefield 5. And he made me a little bit more intrigued with Battlefield 5, because he was saying that he saw and felt shades of Bad Company 2 in there. Like the same level of like fun and sort of chaos is how he described it, I think. Which is welcome for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And outside of that aspect of the entire thing, Battlefield 5 obviously is a World War II game. We got Battlefield 1 last year, covered World War 1. We also got COD World War II last year, which covered World War II. But
it's
it's a weird era.
I just laugh at calling Battlefield 1.
Yeah.
But it's not about, like, yeah. I get what they're going for, but then, like, why not call this one Battlefield 2 if you're going to do that? And then they jump to 5, and it's like, I mean,
you know
what I'm saying? Like,
naming aside, I was into most of the stuff they showed at E3 this year. They did reveal a Battle Royale mode, which you had to remind me of, because I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, I just swept under the rug, dude. It's like, hey, like that's a pretty big deal, man. Like,
yeah, it's weird because before E3 they kept saying no Battle Royale, we're not doing a Battle Royale, and then in their conference they like showed a quick little video package that wasn't even anything substantial, that just said Royale, I think. And
yeah.
It feels like they buried it, and I haven't heard anything much about it since then, if anything.
And I don't know why they would bury that information, like,
right?
Because if you look at any other shooter that's out right now, like, anyone, Battlefield could do a good BR mode.
Oh, for
out of
sure.
anyone, and like we will definitely talk about it later, obviously in our little Battle Royale section. Probably not little, probably a lot, but that section of the cast. But long story short, Battlefield games have every piece in play to make a good BR mode.
Definitely.
So I don't know why they would just frown. And like everyone is, and everyone's looking at DICE, at Battlefield, to be like, yo, you could make a really good console BR mode, even PC as well. Of course, PC. Battlefield obviously home for PC. You know, even like I see Battlefield's BR as a direct competitor to PUBG on the PC front of battle royale games.
Oh yeah, I can see it. Yeah,
100%. Like polished, that is 100%. That is remain. I think they should be more attuning towards the more PUBG crowd as opposed to the Fortnite crowd of battle royale, which I think Blackout was definitely aiming for that Fortnite.
Yeah, crowd. You make an interesting point there. I see a lot of overlap with
100%. Yeah, so I don't know why they're keeping shush about it right now. Maybe it's not done. Maybe it's like a actual afterthought that they didn't anticipate to be, making a battle royale mode for this game. Maybe, maybe it's that late in development. Perhaps like that could totally be a thing. But I don't know. And like just me talking like Battlefield 5 from like a more general standpoint. I took this year as the same kind of regular default answer I have with Battlefield, which I had in the past, ever since Battlefield 3, which is like, I'm not interested in Battlefield. Like it looked cool, and it looks like they're adding some new things with like I know they have different animations, so where if you move backwards while you're prone, you can see your feet and your torso, which that I haven't seen a lot done in game. So there's like some details there that look really cool. They're bringing back the vignettes as well, which I think they're calling War Stories. I think War Stories, or
I think that might be what it's called.
Yeah. But so the same style as Battlefield 1. I almost said Battlefield 4. Battlefield 1, which a lot of people enjoyed. I didn't play, but a lot of people seem to enjoy those vignettes, so pretty cool to see that there as well. I would hope that this game. Oh wait, no, that's confirmed. Yeah, they don't have any loot box mess with this game. I think they made it clear.
Yeah, that's a good point. No microtransactions in form of loot boxes.
Yeah. Oh,
but
fair point.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, not in loot boxes. You're right. Yeah, you're right. 100%.
Yeah, so
it could be something else.
But yeah, Battlefield 5 I'm paying attention to right now. I am interested to see where it goes, especially with its Battle Royale mode and how they sort of feed that out with information coming through the next few months, because October's not that far away.
Yeah, for sure. And at least for me, kind of just like to wrap up my thoughts in the bow about Battlefield. I'm not interested in Battlefield 5 at all. I am interested in their BR mode. We just haven't seen anything about it yet. So I think once we get some intel about that BR mode, and honestly, I'm probably just gonna get Battlefield 5 solely for that BR. Honestly, just for that BR mode.
Yeah, okay. Because I was gonna ask you, do you think there's a world where you end up buying Battlefield 5? Do you think is it just tied to the Battle Royale mode? Do you think?
Yeah, it is only solely tied to the Battle Royale mode, 100%. Like that is, if Battlefield 5, if they hadn't said anything about a BR mode or confirmed that we're not doing it, I would not buy it.
Got it.
I would not. Yeah, 100% hand on God would not buy it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting, because now we're going to talk about something that. Sorry, there's a car going
I have bought already.
True, but this is something I am very, almost like, money down right now. I'm not buying COD this year.
Damn!
And that sucks to say, because Black Ops is my favorite Call of Duty. Again, one of my favorite multiplayer experiences on the PS3. Probably.
Wait, but I'm very. No, go ahead. Go.
I was gonna say I enjoyed playing Black Ops, the original, more than Bad Company 2. I have more memorable experiences with the online for Bad Company 2, but I played way more Black Ops.
Black Ops 1 is the best Call of Duty of all time, period.
And you know why it's that? 90% of the reason it's that, it's because of the campaign.
The 100%.
Treyarch
campaign was godly.
Makes very good campaigns.
They do. No, 1, 2, and 3. 3 gets a little bit, questioned, but like the sheer depth of 3. I know that's like a very Tumblr type of, reply I'm saying here. Like, oh yeah, no, like this, it's like really deep. No, but like genuinely speaking, like when you look, like there are dedicated forums, like, and dedicated threads on Reddit that are pages long that go over the complexity of Black Ops 3's campaign. Like they make good campaigns. They do.
Treyarch has made all of my favorite COD games. They have made some that I haven't been that into, but all my favorite ones have been from Treyarch.
Dude, 100%. Treyarch has, in my eyes, I
think they stole it from Infinity Ward.
Oh, a long time ago. Yeah. I felt that way post Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, even MW2 wasn't something I was huge into, but
I feel
besides the point, Call of Duty, this is painful for me to talk about because it's Black Ops, but Black Ops 4 is coming out October 12th. Recently just had its beta. Getting another beta on September 10th for the Battle Royale mode, which we'll talk about when we get to our closing Battle Royale segment. Unlike Battlefield, there is no campaign.
RIP. Literally RIP.
They're saying there's a story tied to multiplayer. I've seen things try that before.
Yeah, what other big game am I thinking of that's a shooter that also had a story tied to the multiplayer? What? Titanfall! That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, the original, right?
Titanfall. Yeah, okay, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. Titanfall did. That's what it's. So, like, whenever they talk about, like, Black Ops 4 is going to have this, story that's tied into the multiplayer, like this and the third, it reminds me of Titanfall when they said that, and virtually there was no. I
don't know how the original Titanfall handled it, but the two examples that come to my mind right now about a story being told in an exclusively multiplayer game, or like the story is in the multiplayer section. Again, Fortnite, but that isn't really a story. That's more of like a what's happening in that world, because we had the transition between seasons, the little vignettes, but when the season first starts, the missile, the crack in the sky, stuff like that.
Yeah, because like they're. I mean, I never thought about Fortnite having a story, but like
I say story loosely, but it's more like context,
Yeah, but it is technically like
there is a narrative that's going on. Yeah,
flow into each other. Like it's not like they're like ancillary, like separate things. Like they all kind of flow into each other. Like. That is a good point. Yeah, I guess you can call it a story, but yeah.
And the other that's more directly what you'd imagine a traditional, or at least how I would imagine taking a story and like sticking it onto a multiplayer is For Honor. But For Honor did it in a more like meta way. So the way For Honor worked was they had their seasons, and each player was able to pick one of 3 factions they wanted to do, and based on how many wins, how many events people in that faction did, next season you would see your faction have a bigger, smaller portion of that world covered and in control. You'd get better gear and exclusive gear based on what your thing was.
Right.
So in my head, I feel like that's something COD's going to do. I really don't think it's going to be like, the other team is actually the Russians doing something, kill them,
I don't know.
and then get a cutscene after you finish your deathmatch. Like,
I don't know how it's gonna be. And like when it was first made public that like this is not there's no campaigning in this game, right? It hurt for a lot of reasons, because number one, Black Ops 4 is set in between 2 and 3, right? So we have some specialists that were in Black Ops 3 that are in Black Ops 4 now, but they have the same type of equipment, but the equipment's different. Like there's some changes there that are interesting, right? But the main thing is that in the Black Ops 3 terminal, right? This is gonna get really nerdy for like 2 minutes, but I'll explain as quick as possible, right? So Black Ops 3 takes place. There's a massive time jump. Think of like 50 years. Or 60 years, like something crazy.
Yeah, it's like far future.
Between two. Yeah, I think so. Black Ops 2 is 2025. Black Ops 3, I think, is like 2060 something. I could be wrong about that, but like there's like a pretty significant amount of time there, right? And within the Black Ops 3 terminal, right, which was similar to Black Ops 1's terminal that was in the main menu of that game, right? There's all this lore and all these things that we get input about from Mason and Woods that happen in between Black Ops 2 and 3. So I thought with Black Ops 4 when they said that, yo, we're doing it in between 2 and 3. They were gonna tell some of those stories
and that would have been awesome.
Flesh out, and that would have been dope. Like, yo, like that would have been perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that would have been, oh my, like the things they could have done, right? Because the overall like world and outlook, you know, from 2025 from Black Ops 2, it's vastly different than Black Ops 3.
Downhill.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's vastly different. So like just the overall context that Black Ops 4 could have added with its story mode to Black Ops 3 with, you know, all of the crazy stuff of Black Ops 3 with I forgot what's called, the like little piece in your head that allows you to do these crazy things, you know, in Black Ops 3.
Like that implant thing.
Yeah, that implant thing, I forgot what it's called. But, you know, like, just, they could have told, I don't know, like, maybe there was testing it on woods, or, like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, timelines don't match, but it would have been dope.
Yeah,
it would have been great.
And
I don't know why they're not doing it.
Do you think there's, just like yes or no right here, do you think they have the actual potential, based on what you could think of right now, to tell a story on that caliber that would satisfy you in a multiplayer mode?
No.
Okay, because I don't either.
No, not at all. No.
Well,
no. And like and the specialists in multiplayer aren't really tied to the Black Ops story.
All right, we should say also that you've played a decent chunk of the beta.
Yes, a lot of it, yeah.
Yeah, so you know what you're talking about right now with at least how it stands pre-release.
Yeah, so like, so for example, like the like specialist characters, yes, they exist in the same world as the Black Ops, obviously, right? Like, you know, the same world, but like Black Ops 3 never really delved into the specialists. You know what I'm saying? Like the Black Ops 3 story, right? Like the actual story mode had nothing really to do with the specialists. You know, if that makes sense. Like those characters just weren't in the story.
Right, yeah, like they were part of the story, they weren't the story.
They were a part of the world, not a part of the story. That's what I'll say.
Okay,
yeah. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah. So like, great, we're gonna get some context and quote unquote story with and about these specialists in the multiplayer, but that's not what we want. Like we want the Black Ops story to continue. You know, or give us more context in that format.
Honestly,
not so much the specialists.
I really think I know sequels sell better, but I just think they should have called this a different series.
Oh, dude! Oh my God! Please, yeah. And obviously, we know why they call it Black Ops sells. Like that's,
exactly, yeah.
So that's of course why they kept Black Ops 4. But in my eyes, if there's no story, there's no business calling this Black Ops.
Yeah, I have like.
You know what I'm saying?
There's something in me that's like really wanting to give Treyarch the benefit of the doubt because they've done such a great job with a lot of their games. But right now they're giving me no reason to give in to that feeling. Yeah, no, and like, I'm here complaining about the story, but like, let me just preface. I've played the beta significantly. Right. And I think it's good. I think it's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and again... Question for you. We don't have to dive into all the changes and all the updates for this version.
Right.
But do you like the tweaks they've made? Because I know they've made it somewhat more tactical, more like Overwatch.
Yeah.
How are you into that?
Honestly, yeah. Okay. So I think I'll just use this big one as an example for time's sake, obviously. The health regen system, vastly different than any other Call of Duty in the past. It's no longer auto regen; it's manual regen.
It's not doing a button,
side note, yeah. So it's L1 on your trigger, right? And so, like, I thought that'd be like really annoying. You know what I'm saying? Because it sounds really annoying. You know, because obviously Call of Duty, fast-paced gunplay, you're gonna have low health a lot of times while you're playing. Because, you know, you're going to get shot a lot, you know? So you would assume that it'd be really annoying to keep pressing L1 to trigger that health, whatever. But I don't know. Like, it doesn't really make sense when you're saying it, because, like, why wouldn't you just want to just auto regen after a while? But there's just something about controlling when you heal. It adds, like, a layer of complexity and a layer of strategy that I didn't think would happen, but did. And I really enjoyed it, you know? I honestly, I enjoyed it, you know? So,
for the regen, is it like a finite resource? Is it something you pick up on the map? Is there a skill tied to it? No. What is it?
so it's infinite. You can heal as many times as long as you're alive, right? But they do have this new section of what you select in your creator class. There we go. It's called gear, right? So this different gear you can have. I believe it's called like a acoustic sensor, which makes footsteps louder. It's like an extra perk essentially. Like gear is like essentially just like an extra perk ability that you can have that's tied to your L1, right? Some of them are more passive that just happen all the time, like the sensor, like armor, which armor is trash, but you know what I'm saying. But there's one called the stem shot, right? And the stem shot allows you to heal more frequently, right? Because like when you don't have it, there's a bit of a delay. I think it's like, I want to say maybe like a 2-second delay from when you can trigger the heal again.
Okay.
Right?
So there is a cooldown on it.
Yeah, cooldown. Sorry, yeah. Like there's like a little bit of cooldown, but stem shot decreases that cooldown significantly. So like you can do it way more frequently, and it heals you faster.
Okay.
Right. So that's the only way you can really manipulate that manual regen and everything. But and honestly, I'm probably gonna roll stem shot 24/7. Really, I think like you know, stem shot is reminding me of like Juggernaut back in the day.
Yeah,
like
that's what it sounds like. What you're saying right now.
Exactly. Yeah, where it's like if you're not running if you're not running stopping power, I don't know what you're running, and if you're not running stopping power, you're running Jug, which is body armor in this game, which is annoying. Okay. You know, so like it reminds me of that. But you know, obviously, stem shot is not doing bullet damage, but it is, you know, definitely does change how you play with that stem shot because it does make you a lot more aggressive overall. But I have a full video of my thoughts on the beta as well. But you know, on this channel, definitely go check it out. That full 20-minute, you know, where I talk about the beta and everything. But the only difference that I want to talk about with Weekend 2 was a game mode that does have aspects of it that do tie in to Blackout, I believe, right?
Okay.
So it was a game called Heist. I did a stream on the channel that's also up as well, so you can check out that new Heist mode with new map, whatever. But I found Heist to be really, really fun. It's similar to a game mode that a lot of people were saying in the chat. I guess CS:GO has a similar mode where you start. Yeah, where like you start with a pistol in the game, and as the rounds go on, you get more money to be able to buy different weapons, different attachments, different perks, whatever, and stuff like that. And like you pick up, and so like, and throughout the heist matches, there were bags of health and bags of ammo. So I'm like, okay, that's definitely gonna be stuff that's gonna be in Blackout, you know, and like the whole like menu system where like you're buying different weapons, like it definitely does scream BR to me. Like I feel like they added in the heist mode just to kind of like show us little glimpses of like, hey, this is how you're probably likely going to be able to get ammo and health.
Yeah, so like BRs, tease the mechanics.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking they were doing there, definitely.
All right.
But I thought Heist was a really, really fun game mode. Me and my friend were playing it for a long time, that stream, and like definitely enjoying it. So yeah, so long story short, it really sucks that we're not getting a story in Black Ops, but the multiplayer, I can't lie.
Well,
it's fun. Yeah.
Technically, we're not getting the traditional story, but there is going to be a story being told in Zombies, apparently.
Yes, yeah, which Zombies is a whole other thing.
Yeah, like...
So,
I love Zombies. Well, I loved Zombies. I haven't loved Zombies for a while, but... I only played 2 rounds in World War II. I wasn't that into it.
Oh my god, don't. I played literally 1 round. I honestly played one round of Zombies.
Yeah, my friend got a PS4 and he got caught, and he was like, let's play Zombies because we haven't in a while. So I was like, all right, we'll do a couple. And then we just ended up switching to Fortnite.
Yeah, no, me personally, COD Zombies is Treyarch Zombies.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that's what, you know what I'm saying? Like, every other Zombies mode doesn't matter to me. Trash, they don't matter, right? Like,
I thought the one in Advanced Warfare was pretty good. I'll say that.
Yeah, Exo Zombies was cool. Exo Zombies was like, but generally speaking, I don't care about any other zombies other than Treyarch, because like,
yeah,
come on, right? So this one, they are introducing a new timeline. I'll just go over this like briefly here. A new timeline. I forgot what they're calling that timeline, but it's a new one that they said, quote unquote, has no correlation to the current story, which I doubt. I think there will be some sort of tie-in.
Oh, for sure, because they're time traveling.
DLC. Yeah, and like, since So how up to date are you on like the story in terms of like Black Ops 3? Because Black Ops 3 like changed a lot of things
the zombies?
For the story overall. Yeah, it's a lot of things.
Not much, but I mean, in the case of this one, it's focusing on a new group of characters who are going to be the through line for this entire thing. It's going to be like a season-long story of zombies going through new maps, different time periods. Like they're going to Rome, like ancient Rome.
Titanic, which is really cool too.
Yeah, that one looked really interesting. They teased a couple more, but those are the two. There's 3 launching day 1, right?
4 if you pre-order, technically. Yeah, so we have 5. Wait, no, 9, which is the Rome map. I believe it's called 9. 9? I think it's 9. And then something of the seas, whatever that's called, the Titanic map. And then we have Blood of the Dead, which is the remake to Mob of the Dead, which is a great map. And then we're also getting, if you pre-order, the Classified map, which is called Classified, but it's a 5 remake from back in the day when you're playing as JFK, Castro, Nixon, etc.
Oh, they're doing that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's lit. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. Because I knew they were doing the Alcatraz one.
Yeah. So
that's cool,
that one's Blood of the Dead. But if you pre-order 5, pre-order the game, you will get the 5 remake, which is called Classified. But
all right, as cool as that is, that's pissing me off. But finish that thought, because there's one last thing we have to talk about for this game.
Yeah. So long story short, so I'm not even gonna get into it. We're getting Mob of the Dead remake, different characters, but they're not. But I'm gonna just leave that to be because that's a lot to explain. But so zombies. I'm looking forward to it.
You mentioned a pre-order bonus. We teased that COD also had some crazy stuff going on with their additions.
Crazy.
This is worse. I'm already like upset about that whole play it early thing. This is worse. This is
I hate it.
Straight up worse.
I'm gonna let you just say what it is, and I'll go on my rant.
Okay, so if you aren't familiar, originally at the reveal, they said that Call of Duty Black Ops 4 was not going to have a season pass. Like, everybody gets the maps. That was their original pitch.
Wait, really?
Yeah, their event, they either didn't say anything about a season pass, or they said like everybody gets access to the maps. They said something like that.
No, I'll be honest. I watched it, and I don't think they said anything about it.
Okay.
To be just fair, because I don't think they ever said we're not gonna do it, and then just come up with it.
Yeah.
Like, I think they just never say anything. Yeah.
Please correct us in the comments.
Yeah.
But
if I'm wrong, let me know.
Yeah.
But I don't think they said anything about it. But
that aside, there is going to be a season pass. It is tied, every new map, every new piece of content that comes out for Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is tied to the season pass. You cannot buy it piecemeal. There's no map packs. Every new drop of a map pack, if you want to call it.
It's called a Black Ops Pass.
Just shut up. Not you, shut up, but shut up, Activision. They can say it any way they want to say it. It's still garbage. So, okay, but let me finish the issue, one of the issues here. So,
of course.
There is, I'm not sure if this was fixed yet, but the only way currently you can get the season pass of the game is if you buy the special edition.
Oh, wait, is that a real thing?
Yes, that is a real thing.
So you're telling me that you can't buy a Black Ops Pass?
I did a quick Google search before we started recording. I could not find anything. But as of a while ago, the only way to get the season pass right now, I don't know how they're going to do it post-launch, the only way to get it is if you buy the special edition. Remember, they have shown us nothing about what the post-game content is going to be for this game.
Nothing. Which, to be fair, they never, they really have it in a while.
Correct.
To be fair, but that doesn't make it that doesn't make it cool.
Right.
Like, it's still
you're
like,
still
you know,
like you're still asking people to buy in for that more expensive version of your game to be able to play with their friends that also have it.
Yeah.
Which is where I want to start with this issue, because in 2018, where we are, even EA is doing this. Season passes should not be a thing anymore.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't.
Because it's especially if you want to maintain a player base, it just
exactly
people will fall off hard.
That is arguably my main gripe with it.
Yeah,
right?
that is the issue.
It's not.
I mean, there's more issues here, but that is the issue.
Yeah, my biggest one is that, listen, me, right? Let's say, me, obviously, COD fan, whatever. I'm gonna be one of those people that buys the pass,
right?
Obviously, right? But for those that have not bought the pass, right? By the 4th map pack, right? If I'm still enjoying myself with the game and like I'm still playing it, do you know how small that subsect is of the player base that is currently playing on the 4th map pack of the game?
Oh yeah.
Do you know how small that pool is?
It's very small.
So like progressively, you can feel yourself getting in weaker connections and weaker, servers, and not servers, but like you can feel it as every DLC releases throughout the year, that you're in a pool of less people that you could potentially be matched with.
And you know what? It would even be I'd be a little more okay with this, because I would just brush it off as being, it's just Activision, they're not going to change, if they still allowed you to buy the map packs on their own.
Yeah.
Which as of right now, unless they change something, crazy. You cannot.
Which is wild. Now you can't even buy them separately. Like, come on. And I would even, I would even understand it if they were like, hey, we're doing a pass, but it's only for zombies. Multiplayer,
they aren't
all of the map.
They're doing a zombies pass as well.
I thought the Black Ops pass also came with the zombies maps.
There might be 2 versions of it. I'm not sure, but there are 2 separate season pass. They might be tied into the whole Black Ops package of Black Ops pass, but there is a season of content coming to zombies, and there is a season of content coming to the main multiplayer.
I bought the Black Ops 4 Deluxe Edition, so I'm gonna look at that real quick and see what I'm getting with that.
Yeah, pull your pre-order
and that
up.
will give us, that'll give us context. Here we go. Okay, so Black Ops 4 Digital Deluxe, Digital Deluxe Edition. Got that pulled up. Still loading. Hold on. Filling air. Black Ops Pass sucks. This is garbage. I wish the maps were free. And like that's what everyone was like expecting too. Was like, oh, okay, like this is gonna be a year where we're probably gonna get free maps.
Right,
okay.
because that's the trend. Everybody's done that. Overwatch does it, and Overwatch is published by Activision. Obviously, Blizzard is a more like I know the COD community is fostered by the people who make COD, because it's a very like multi-million-dollar industry for COD.
Yeah.
Blizzard just has the attitude of like, oh, hey, we're buddies, Like, that's their whole thing. Still under the Activision umbrella, but yeah. So what is included with your version of the game?
Okay, I bought the Black Ops 4 Digital Deluxe Edition, $100, right? Comes with the Black Ops 4 base game, 2,400 COD points. Yippee, COD points. Digital Edition bonus items. Don't know what that means.
Probably guns or skins or something.
Digital Deluxe bonus items. Not sure what that means again. And then the Black Ops Pass, which includes the classified zombies experience available at launch. That is the remake of 5.
Yep.
4 additional all new zombies experiences. So that is each.
That would be the drops. Yes.
Each drop. Yeah. The drops. 12 multiplayer maps.
Okay, so that also makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And then 4 exclusive Blackout characters.
All right.
Yeah. And then in the base game, just to keep it, crystal clear, the base game on the zombie standpoint has the 3 maps: 9, Voyage of Despair, and Blood of the Dead.
But if you pre-order, you do get classified.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the pre-order thing isn't really as big of a deal, but it just set off this entire rant.
Yeah, because there were rumors too, like, oh man, like, dude, we're gonna get free maps. Heck yeah, like we can have a bigger player pool to get better connections overall, like later on in the year. Like, heck yeah, and now we're not. So, yeah.
So yeah,
Black Ops Pass sucks.
In my eyes, right now, Battlefield does have two advantages over COD. For one, having a campaign, and two, being able to foster their community that buys just their game. You know, it's crazy in the day we're in right now with Fortnite, which updates weekly. They have their seasons, and everybody gets access to that. It's very. It just seems outdated.
I don't get how you look at Fortnite and still come out with a pass.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it, season pass, Black Ops Pass. How? Like, how do you still?
It's not even that. It's the way it's what it is, because Fortnite has the Battle Pass, but the Battle Pass I think is the perfect way to do that.
Oh my god, no! I think it's great.
Yeah,
the Battle Pass is great. Yeah, the Battle Pass is
copy it.
Absolutely how you should do it. Yes, straight up just copy it.
With all 100%. The copying going on right now, copy that. We will be okay with it. You know?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But we're leaning into Battle Royale now.
Another thing they're copying.
There you go. Transition.
Decent segue. Yeah.
We're at an hour right now, so this might be a bit of a longer episode. So
yeah, I'm completely fine with going over the clock.
For sure. But
deal.
So Battle Royale in both Battlefield 5 and Call of Duty is coming this year. Battlefield 5, we really don't know much about either, so this actually might be a bit shorter than what I'm thinking.
I feel like we know a little bit more about Blackout.
We do.
I mean like a little bit more, not like a ton. But we definitely know absolutely nothing about the Battlefield one.
Right.
All that we know is that it is a thing. It exists, and it will be on Battlefield 5.
Like you were talking about earlier, though, I think the pace of Battlefield, the structure of the maps already for Battlefield, and the way that game is just fits so much more with Battle Royale in my head, and that makes me more interested. Because
100%.
You made a good comparison that there's some overlap in the audiences between like PUBG and Battlefield, and then COD and Fortnite. So I think that was actually a really good thing to bring up.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah,
because there are differences. Like Fortnite and COD are more like fun, twitchy things, and then Battlefield and PUBG are more slow, but
grounded. They're massive. Yeah,
the foundation is there, and it feels good in Battlefield. That's the entire thing I'm thinking of. Like, it looks fantastic. There's environmental destruction, which I don't think has been in any battle royales yet.
I
mean, you can destruct the environment in Fortnite, so yeah, that's wrong.
I mean,
but
technically, but a little bit different. Yeah, but
yeah.
I mean, yeah,
and
kind of different, but
I think the concept, especially considering we have the great history of vehicles in Battlefield, World War II Battle Royale seems like it could be very unique and very fun.
Yeah. And like, just, like we said, you know, the World War II setting I think could be really, really great, and setting it apart from themselves like that. Like, maybe, I don't know, they have horses. I know Realm Royale has horses and mounts, whatever, but, you know, I think that could be an interesting wrinkle to it as well.
Too.
Yeah, exactly. The weaponry of that time too. But I think when you just look at your regular standard Battlefield game, right? Battlefield 5, for example, if you want, or whatever Battlefield of like the last few years, you know what I'm saying? They all support a massive player base. They have a variety of maps. They have unique abilities where you can drop health, drop loot. So there are droppable items on the map that can give you health, ammo, etc. There's reviving in the game. They have massive open maps. You know, like, they have pretty much everything in the pot to make it happen. I think all they need to do is do like a fog of war, not fog of war, but, you know, some sort of barrier that closes in, obviously, to keep people in combat and everything, and not just camping throughout the whole map. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, do that.
Yeah, and I feel like that's easy to implement.
Yeah, and I think other than that, I think they have everything there. I mean, unless I'm missing something crazy that I'm not thinking of, honestly, they have been proven to be able to support massive, people on a server, massive matches. I don't know what the player count is right now on like a regular not Fortnite, a regular Battlefield game, but it's gotta be like over 50, right? I mean,
oh yeah, I think 64 on PC is like the standard now at least.
64, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, so they, other than that wall that closes in or that zone that closes in, I think they have everything there, and I think they could pull it off really, really well. I think they can really do it.
When you say Battle Royale and Battlefield, it definitely makes more sense than when you say Battle Royale and Call of Duty.
Or Blackout, yeah, 100%. No, I think, I think it could be big for Battlefield. And I think also, because I'm not hearing a lot of hype over Battlefield. I know the pre-orders are a little bit low, which I don't think we touched on. I think we might have, but, pre-orders are a little bit low for the game as well. But I think if they show a trailer or show something or give some sort of info about this upcoming Battle Royale mode in Battlefield 5, I think it could blow that game up.
I really agree with you, especially because of how angry both of us got with Call of Duty, and you're still buying it even, but you're just like not happy with a lot of the decisions they're making. I feel there is a way for Battlefield to come in and really prove itself and steal more sales than usual from COD. They just haven't shown anything yet that would make me think that.
100%. Yeah, 100%. I think they can do it, and I'm shocked they haven't said a lot about it yet. Next to none, really. I'm shocked.
And I mean, for COD, for Blackout,
shout out to Blackout. Shout out.
There isn't we know much more than we know for Battlefield. We don't know how it's going to play, really. It's going to have vehicles in COD multiplayer, which is a first.
Land, air, and sea. Well, technically not with World at War tanks, technically. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Fully controllable vehicles on a variety of different places. That is a big step for COD. The map size, time to kill, all of these things running through my head just make me feel like they have a lot of tweaking to do. So I wonder if it's going to still feel like COD or what they're going to do.
Right. So this is going to get a little nerdy here. I'll stay as lame as possible, whatever. But, land, sea, air vehicles, like I said, before. But what they're doing to the overall COD engine this year, they're making a lot of changes, I feel, that are very much going to be prevalent and noticeable in Blackout, right? So the biggest one, obviously, for me, that I see straight up, is the health, right? With the amount of health you get as, your, full level of health right now, and Black Ops 4 is 150, right? Traditionally, it's been 100. So I think that 150 was also made to also kind of accompany and get us used to, taking a little bit longer to kill people, as you would find in any BR mode. Because if you have a BR mode that you melt people in, it kind of doesn't give people a chance to, I feel, get skillful in the game at positioning and keeping their shots on target and stuff like that. So I feel like that health was made for Blackout, I feel. And, another big one as well is that in the past COD games, every COD game, the way the whole engine works on a Call of Duty standpoint, which is by... Crap, I forgot what the engine's called. It's named after another big game, but beside the point. Okay, so they are running on the old engine, right? So traditionally speaking, all COD games in the past before Black Ops 4 run their bullets off of hit scans, right? So they're instantaneous. As soon as you fire a shot, damage is inflicted on the other person that you're aiming at through a scan, right? It's called a hit scan, okay? But with Black Ops 4, they're now transitioning to where a lot of the ARs and SMGs, it starts out as a hit scan, but then over time, as long as there's a lot of distance in between that other player, the hit scan will turn into a projectile, right, and act a little bit like that, which we have not seen in a COD game ever.
That's actually really interesting.
So, for example, all of these snipers too, they are projectiles,
Okay.
Right, so they have bullet drop, they behave like projectiles, and also another thing they also mentioned with them making that tweak from going from hit scans to projectiles. Now every gun also has a they're calling like a ballistic recoil, right? And it's where traditionally speaking in past COD games, the recoil was somewhat random. It had like a kind of skew of what it would usually go to, but generally speaking, from a burst to burst or spray of a clip of a spray to spray clip, like through all those kind of instances where you're having shots fired, the recoil was a little bit random, right? It was random, but it had parameters to like stay within this like little cone, right? But with this one, with Black Ops 4, all the guns are gonna have a set recoil, like they all have a set recoil pattern,
okay,
which is because of the ballistics that they're changing because of Blackout.
So yeah, do you think all these changes are to serve Battle Royale?
I think so, yeah. Well, not like all of them. I feel like that's their sole reason, but I feel like a majority of them, especially with the talk about like the bullet sliver and stuff like that, and like how they're changing how guns behave, because bullet drop has never been in a COD game, and I feel like if they were just still hit scans in a Call of Duty, Battle Royale, that'd be kind of just whack.
Yeah, because when you're saying that, like here over here thinking about how fast I die, and like not being able to respawn, but having to back out and start another match. Like, but yeah, that's really interesting to see them change that.
Because like if they hadn't, think about it, like you could just have a SMG and BR and see someone way far from you.
Oh yeah.
Right? And still just hit them dead on, as long as you're aiming at them with a hit scan, But because they have these ballistics and now like they're changing it to more of a projectile, now obviously that SMG can have bullet drop, so you have to lead your shots and be a little more accurate in terms of like leading on and aiming a little bit above that person to compensate for the bullet drop. So I think like those changes are definitely being made for Blackout. Yeah, so
that's actually pretty cool. I'm interested to see how that changes the feel, especially in like the pace of what a typical battle royale would be. But I think
weird because like we're so used to having COD its like specific feel, and it's gonna have these new things like bullet drop, for example, and like bullet time, like
and the health you're talking about too.
And health as well. So I think it's gonna be kind of weird to play that, but like it looks like Treyarch are definitely making strides to make Blackout the best they can, and I believe that, So, and also with it being first person to mention as well, that I think is a little bit weird, but
I mean PUBG's first person.
It can also be third too. They like toggle. It could be either or.
Right. I know there's a community that even aiming in PUBG is first person.
Yeah, true. Aiming is first person. Yeah, I just think it's weird also like to have a BR with first person, because like they're making such a big deal, like how in in the infamous Black Ops Pass you can get, where you're gonna have 4 unique exclusive characters, right? And I think it's weird that like they're gonna have all these characters, like you can be Mason, Woods, Richtofen, Nikolai, Dempsey, etc. Even like zombie characters too, like I said before. But you'll be in first person. So it's like, cool, like my enemy and my friends can see who I am, but
that's something I always felt weird about with Destiny also. But
exactly, like it's cool to see all this I would love for Destiny to be third person, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But
that'd be tight. Yeah. But
so for Blackout, I think with me at least, the thing that was most intriguing to me, outside of the fact that they were going to be adding vehicles and that kind of battle royale aspects to COD, is that Blackout is going to be like some weird display of Call of Duty history.
Yes.
With its map, with the environments that are there. Like, Tomato Town would be like Nuketown, essentially. Rust would be in there somewhere. Like, it's interesting. I want to see how that all meshes together.
Yeah, so like basically like what it says that like the map is going to take a bunch of Black Ops multiplayer maps, not for just Black Ops 1, but like Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3 and everything, and kind of mesh it on this big map. So like we'll see, like we'll probably go from like jungle, for example, from like Black Ops 1 to I don't know, like a Black Ops 2 map and then Black Ops 3, you know. So I think it's gonna be cool. I think it could be interesting and stuff like that. So
and there are going to be characters that you can play as through the COD or the Black Ops history. So
yep.
That's really all I had to pull from for as far as what I know. Like I said, the beta is coming on the 10th. I'm gonna try and get into that.
Yeah, excited and like I guess I'm definitely gonna play it. I'm definitely gonna be playing it. And they did announce this week that there's gonna be solo duos, and they're calling quads instead of squads.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah.
Oh, they think they're so cute, don't they?
I swear to God, yeah, no, they're like, I'm like, huh, you're really calling it quads,
all right,
instead of just squads, like okay, I'm like, all right, okay, quads,
all right. So
hey man, you want to like run some quads tonight, bro? Like, dude, like
I'm gonna be driving like a 4x or like an oh god, okay.
I don't know why they call it quads, dude. It's weird. Huh? Shout out to Blackout, man. Shout out.
All right, well, I want to end this with a question for you.
Let's do it.
For people listening, if you're regularly checking out the channel, you know Kevin does Fortnite Fridays. So
I do.
The man is very familiar with Fortnite. I play a fair amount of Fortnite. Play with my friends. I usually do squads, do solos. That's about it. But I am very comfortable talking about Fortnite, so to me, I think Fortnite has very much changed the game when it comes to multiplayer in any capacity. I think as far as monetizing it, as far as engagement with the community, updating the game, regularly balancing things, I think Epic is a company that can do that because they are huge. And Fortnite, I think any other company handling Fortnite, I feel like they'd crumble at this point.
Oh, 100%, dude.
Because even if you look at PUBG Core, PUBG isn't like... PUBG kind of fell off, you know? Like, it has its audience, but you see Fortnite every single day.
Yeah.
So, when it comes to 100%. COD and Battlefield, I really want to know, do you think COD has a chance of stealing the Fortnite audience in a way that hurts Fortnite? / do you think Fortnite retains its audience well enough that someone who would normally buy COD looks at this year's COD, sees there's no campaign, sees that they're doing a Battle Royale mode, but you have to pay the $60, you have to buy the season pass. Do you think because of Fortnite being a free game that you spend maybe $30 on a year if you're just buying the Battle Pass,
right?
Do you think that hurts COD because of the way they pitched Blackout? And honestly, I thought it was cool. Seeing the entire scenario for everything else in COD, Fortnite is keeping me from getting COD because I know my friends have Fortnite. They're not going to sell Fortnite because it's a digital free download. If people I know get PS4s, I can tell them to get Fortnite because it's free. And they can still play that and still enjoy it without having the Battle Pass. I really think... I'm not saying this is the downfall of COD, because that would be asinine to say.
Right.
I just think it hurts it in a way that few games have been able to do, even Battlefield.
100%. No, yeah, 100% agree. So is the question essentially, do I think Blackout could potentially put a chink or a dent in Fortnite and somehow make an effect back?
And vice versa.
Essentially. And vice versa. Okay. No. And there is two big reasons why.
Either way?
No, as in like Blackout will not like somehow like overtake Fortnite, right? I think like Fortnite is going to stay big as it is for two big reasons, okay? I think but then again, you know, if you and I were talking about Call of Duty back in like 2012, we would say, "Oh, dude, absolutely not. No one's going to take over Call of Duty. Like COD's the biggest thing out. COD's the best shooter out, like this and the third. You know, now we have Fortnite." But I think there's two. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because like when we were kids, the multiplayer game to have was COD.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that's all I played was COD. You kidding me? Like, I was crack cocaine on COD, dude.
And right now, kids don't need COD. And their parents know they don't need COD because they have Fortnite and it's free and they're addicted to it.
Yeah. Obviously, the one that's the elephant in the room, the biggest reason is, of course, Fortnite is free and it's on everything.
Yep.
PC, Switch, PS4, Xbox One, Android, iOS. Mm-hmm. They have everything, right? Number one. That's also a big one, too, right? And number two is that Fortnite, the essence of Fortnite Battle Royale. Not talking about Fortnite, the vanilla game, the Save the World mode. I'm talking about, talking about Fortnite Battle Royale, right? That technically, not even technically, it is still in beta, right? Mm-hmm. So with the benefit of them being in beta, they can push updates and hotfixes faster than if you are a full release game. If you're a full release game, right, and to push an update on all the platforms, on Steam, on PSN, and on Xbox Live, right, that update has to be pushed through a lot more kind of restrictions and a lot more testing and certification. And I think it even costs more, I think, to get an update to your game if it's fully, like, quote-unquote, launched, right?
I mean,
because... Yeah,
I agree with you there. I just feel like in the case of Epic, I don't think they're going to slow down once it officially launches.
No, my point is I don't think they're ever going to make it launched. I don't think they should ever make Fortnite Battle Royale out of beta.
Okay, yeah.
Why would they?
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because if they do, that would hinder them so much. They would probably, I think they'd still at least try, but there's no way they would do an update a week and this much content this frequently if the game Battle Royale came out version 1. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. There's no way, right? So that's what I'm saying is that, because Fortnite is I think Epic Games is strategically not putting that Battle Royale mode out of beta, because why would they? Why would they? You know what I'm saying?
I think there is some strategy to holding on to it. If some interest starts to wane on it, for instance for COD, if that audience pulls a little bit of it away and they announce that they're leaving beta and they're announcing a full-on official launch, I feel like that's a headline that gets people coming back.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and maybe they are doing that, they're keeping it in their back pocket as an option, okay, we're gonna do a similar thing of when PUBG in late December of last year, did their hey, we're releasing version 1 with the Xbox release, this is the definitive vanilla quote unquote PUBG game, right? I think obviously that could be one as well,
right? Because Fortnite feels finished,
Yeah.
It feels like it could be a product that is released that just gets updates constantly.
Yeah, Fortnite is in a fake beta. They're just keeping it in there.
Yeah, it's like so that they can pump these updates.
Right. Yeah, Fortnite is done. Battle Royale is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I think Blackout, I don't think it'll have that opportunity because I think obviously it'll be included in Black Ops 4. You know what I'm saying? It's with the game, right? Now, if Blackout was coming out as a separate entity, separate from Black Ops 4, but in tandem, same time, but you can get Blackout without getting Black Ops 4.
Right.
I think that'd be a whole different ball game. I think we'd be having a whole different conversation at this point, But I think because of that, I think Blackout's going to have less updates, I think.
Oh, it has to.
Obviously, we don't know.
There's no way Blackout updates as frequently as Fortnite does.
Yeah, if
honestly,
Blackout somehow got... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why I don't think that Blackout could ever rise and somehow overtake. It could maybe share the same space for a few months.
Yeah,
but I think eventually, yeah.
I really think that is worrying because they're leaning so heavily on Blackout. If it's not something they can really nail as well as Epic nails Fortnite and the consistency of keeping up with their community.
Right.
It's
tough.
If we get one Blackout update a month, maybe, I feel like that's even way too little.
Yeah, and I guess you can make the argument that COD devs, all three of them, have kind of been, getting quote unquote used to updating the game on a frequent basis with supply drops. But I'm thinking like supply drops is not the same thing as like Fortnite seasons, for example, or how we just got the double barrel shotgun. We just got a new sniper last night. Like last night, we got a new heavy sniper that I can play right now in Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think those are on the same level.
Right? I don't either. That's why I'm really. At all. Again, I don't think this is the end of days for COD or anything. I just feel like this year they're in a bad spot, at least right now. And I think Fortnite really is a game changer with a lot of this. Obviously, there's like Battlefield is in a similar situation because, again, it's walled off behind a $60 price tag. But we're not talking much about Battlefield because, again, we don't know much about it. Like, they could be doing some awesome stuff with their Battle Royale that we just don't know yet. And
can you imagine if like, Battlefield's BR is just, like, legit? And it's just something that's incredible.
I am putting more stock into Battlefield 5's Royale being good than COD's.
Interesting.
And I don't think COD isn't fun to play. I like Call of Duty. I've played Call of Duty for years of my life. I just think they need to adapt to what it is to be a multiplayer-centric game in 2018.
Right. 100%. And since they made a decision to be multiplayer only, having a campaign. But I guess we'll end on this like last question. I just had like just one last thing. Considering EA and DICE haven't said anything about their BR mode, just that like it's coming. When they say Battlefield 5 is gonna have Battle Royale mode, do you think they are also saying that Battlefield 5, that the BR mode will be day one on Battlefield 5? Or do you think that because they haven't said a lot about the mode currently at this point, and we're, 2 months until release? Something like that? You know what I'm saying?
A little over.
Do you think this BR mode is going to be pushed to, like, 2019 as an update or something?
I would say yes, except for the fact that COD still hasn't shown it. They've just been talking, you know?
I mean, we are getting a beta.
I know, but we're getting a beta, but I really like Battlefield could still announce a beta theoretically in the next couple weeks or just show it, you know?
Yeah, it's a fair point.
Because Battlefield, I really feel like they've just been holding some stuff close to their chest because they really want to nail the way they execute the public opinion of Battlefield 5 after their EA's last year. So I think they want to do it as picture perfect as they want it to be. So I understand holding out information. I understand wanting to really nail it, but I feel like the time is coming, and I would say yes to what you just asked if we don't hear or see anything about the Battle Royale for Battlefield by the middle of September.
Yeah, I think if it's getting close to the end of September, I think that mode, at least the mode, is getting pushed. Obviously not the game. Like, come on. Right. But, like, definitely the mode is getting pushed to, like, 2019's update.
Because, unlike COD, I feel like Battlefield could include the Battle Royale mode in the beta. Like, they don't have to have two separate ones.
Right. Okay, I see. Right.
So I do think that it's possible that it gets pushed. I don't know if it would. I feel like that would hurt it a lot, but... Yeah,
I mean, it could be like a second pop like Fortnite got.
Yeah, that is true, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, technically. And we're like an hour and a half in this podcast. Like, getting a little late here, obviously getting a little hot-winded. But we have to do the last bit of every podcast across Circle. That is the February 22nd, 2019 Game Watch, officially, by yours truly. What's poppin'? How you doing? Podcast and a podcast. So we have Anthem, Days Gone, Trials Rising, Metro Exodus, and Rumored Dreams. There have been no moves in the front. No one has moved as of yet, as of August 15th. And actually, fun fact, I moved out exactly a year ago today.
Oh, wow.
Out of my parents' house. Yeah, I just realized that. Fun fact. But, yeah, no game has moved from February 22nd. And make sure to keep it locked here every week to to keep up with the updates on February 22nd.
I'm getting breaking news right now. The Battlefield 5 Battle Royale is coming out on February 22nd.
I thought you were being serious for a second.
Oh, no. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine?
I thought you were being serious for like a split second, dude. Oh, man. Whew. I
got him.
I wanted to drop on that day. I don't know.
All right, well.
Shout out to February 22nd. Shout out.
This was a meaty episode of our fall preview. So, like I said, we've done a few games so far. Next week, I believe, is our last episode of the fall preview.
Are we doing Red Dead and Fallout, or just one of the two? Or?
If we learn a little more about Fallout by the time we record that Fallout episode, then we can do Fallout. But yeah, Red Dead is tentatively the last episode of the fall preview.
Right. Oh, right. Because Fallout, well, no. I mean, we know a decent amount about Fallout. I think
if you want, we can extend it. I've been liking this.
Yeah, if you want, I'm all good. I'll take it.
Yeah, so Red Dead next week, potentially Fallout the week after. Comment down below. Let us know if you want us to cover any other of the third-party or PlayStation exclusive releases coming out over the next couple of months. There are a lot of games coming up. They are coming up sooner and faster than I want them to.
Spider-Man.
Yes, sir.
Spider-Man. I can't wait.
So, this was a good episode, though. I enjoyed it.
I also did.
A lot of I got angry. Things were said. I
got angry.
It was a very relieving experience to rant about Call of Duty.
It was an emotional roller coaster, if you will.
It was.
You know what I'm saying? Very, very, very.
So,
a lot of feelings.
If people want to hear your hot takes about the COD experience moving forward to release, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at the KDDays123, THEKDIAZ123. Follow me on there, as well as keep it locked here on the channel. I post pretty frequently here on PlayStation Source, so make sure to keep an eye out for any content that goes up. And I will, of course, be in the comments as well, replying to you all. And yeah, that's it. So you can find me. What about you, Christian?
And you can follow me on Twitter at Chris N. Buckley. It is listed on the screen currently. But yeah, I think that's going to do it. You can, if any COD developments happen, I will probably tweet about it, but just expect, well, honestly, don't expect more Platinum updates, because I am taking a break from Platinums until Spider-Man comes out.
And more Platinum updates.
No, God, no. I deleted so many games off my PS4 today.
Really?
It was nice. Yeah, things I finished up, things that I just...
Gotcha.
It was satisfying, but...
Gotcha.
This was a good one. Thank you all for watching. As always, greatness awaits, and we'll see you in the next one.